name's Chuck Morris. I'm still stuck on the roof here at 9151 West Bell Road, supporting the Nissan National 10 event and some great cost partners. Today we got Josh Montgomery with us, first time ever on the roof, and he is here representing the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
So welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
What do you think about the roof so far?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I like that you got the tent set up and it's cozy up here.
Yeah, it is. So. It is. We're certainly glad to have you up here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Special Olympics and your mission?
Sure. Special Olympics, they work, they're nationwide and actually international. And they, basically the mission is just to provide athletic competition and year-round Olympic type sports for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. So.
All right, that's great. And now you guys put on sporting events, right?
Yep.
About how many of those a year in our area do you guys put on?
In your area, we put on so many. Gosh, I don't even know how many to count.
I see them all the time. There's a reason why I was asking. But
yeah,
I know you guys are doing them frequently, all the time.
Well, we have one of our biggest event is probably our summer games, which happened actually this past April 26th to the 29th, and that's that's basically our biggest event during the year. And then that ends at the MCC in Mason Community College. And then our fall games happening in the fall coming up, that one's going to actually be up at Flagstaff this year. So that's kind of our second biggest event. So they do different types of sports in each one.
Gotcha.
So,
now, you guys offer sports training for them, right?
Yes.
So what type of sports training do you offer for not only adults but also children with intellectual disabilities?
We offer basically we do children, we actually just started a youth kind of a youth training where you can get children from ages 2 all the way up until like about 7 or so, and you can actually start training them to participate in. They basically have coaches and they're implementing it in the schools, and it's very new. It's called a Unified Sports District, and what they do is they basically can train kids before they get to school to help them, become more just used to the idea of like participating in sports. And then all the way from middle school up until high school, they have coaches that they'll actually give Special Olympics of those stipends to, and it's pretty cool. So that way the coaches actually can take time out of their own and basically be able to be coaches to these students with intellectual disabilities from junior high and high school. And from that, they can actually, it's an incentive for them, for the schools, to do it because their coaches get paid a little bit extra, and it's an incentive for Special Olympics because we get to be able to have that in the schools and not just as like a private coach or, do it on your own. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, we're working on getting that into college too afterwards.
Well, I think the most amazing thing has to be is that once they start to learn the sport and they start to excel at it a little bit, just a sense of accomplishment they get, the pride they get.
Sure.
I mean, what they have to do, let alone for their confidence, just the self-esteem has to just be astronomical.
Yeah, and one of the cool things is just being able to see how it affects the athletes, but also their families too, which is really unique. Before I started working at Special Olympics, I got to participate in a soccer event, and just being able to see kind of the rewarding experience for me was really being able to see like the pride that comes from your family and from their families, and just being able to watch your brother and sister do so well, and which is just great. So.
That's fantastic. And you guys have a really cool partnership with law enforcement right now.
Yes.
And it's called Courtroom, is that right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. It started back in 1981 with an officer named Richard LeBunyan in Kansas, actually, and he had this idea of partnering with Special Olympics just because he kind of knew about it, he wanted to volunteer. So he basically got his kind of police, which is called, the law enforcement, to really help out, and then from that, the next couple years, all the way up until like 1984, it became like national sponsorship where the law enforcement, basically they're like their premier charity. Like Special Olympics is their kind of #1 charity that they do. So it's really cool how it works. So the law enforcement all around Arizona, I mean over 80 agencies, they volunteer their own time, dedicate all of their own hours, basically raise tons of money for Special Olympics year-round, and then 100% of that money goes straight back to the athletes. So it just goes right back to Special Olympics, and then Yeah, so it's a really great partnership. So we work closely with them year-round to help fundraise and come up with all these crazy events that we do year-round to just help promote awareness and raise funds. So
that's great. Now tell us, what type of events do they do? What are some of the things they do to help raise money for you guys?
Yeah, so they do a lot of crazy stuff. One of the cool things they did, or they do, is like it's called Pop on Top of donut shops, and the pun is in the donut shops, of course. So it's great. We actually had an officer. He was up at Krispy Kreme's. It was this past month, and he was up there for I believe 3 days, and he just he put down a bucket. He had a tent set up like this, and he was yelling and screaming at people coming into Krispy Kreme. And he was just saying, like, raise money for Special Olympics, I'm doing this. And again, it's all out of his own volunteer hours. I mean, all the police are working full time, so it's all out of their own dedication. So another thing to do is called tip cops, where they serve as waiters, such as like Outback Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse, really anything. They'll go to any restaurant and they'll be the waiters. And so when people, like your families, will go sit down, you'll have these cops come and serve you, and you're just like, whoa, what the heck?
Yeah, you got a cop serving.
Yeah, but you tip them well, and then those tips go right back to, again, Special Olympics. So we have things such as like, fire truck pull, where it's just like officers will pull fire trucks. We'll have, really anything. So, but the one biggest event that we do for the law enforcement torch run is for our summer games, which is our biggest event, they will come from all different regions and they will run from wherever their district is. Sometimes they'll have to drive because it's a little bit far, but they will run and they'll carry the flaming torch, which is the flame of hope, to the Special Olympics Summer Games. So for the opening ceremonies, just like they do in the regular Olympics. So it's pretty cool, and they raise a ton of money that way. They'll have like people on the road just giving them a couple dollars here and there, giving them free stuff. And
now they do that in April?
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll talk about dates. Lori told me to ask you about May 22nd. What's going on May 22nd?
May 22nd is, it's called Heineken with the Heart, and it's actually at the Outback Steakhouse, and there's going to be like a live DJ, and they're going to be serving, you pay $25 for a ticket, and that $25 goes straight back to Special Olympics, and what you get is you get like some really good appetizer from Outback Steakhouse, and you also get like Heineken beers, for free, basically until from 6 to 9 p.m. So, and that's actually pretty close up here.
Yeah, so beer and steak, where can you go wrong with that?
Yeah, seriously.
That's a pretty good deal.
It's great food, too. It's Outback Steakhouse. So
two of my favorite food groups.
Yeah.
Beer and steak, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's great. It's happening just May 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. at Outback Steakhouse. So.
Okay, so if we want to find out more about May 22nd, or we want to find out more about the Special Olympics, or more about the torch run, where should we go?
Just go to SpecialOlympicsArizona.org, and that will basically give you all the information about Special Olympics Arizona. And then if you want to find out more about the law enforcement torch run, just go to SpecialOlympicsArizona.org and then /LETR, which stands for Law Enforcement Torch Run.
That's awesome. Or you can visit us on StuckOnTheRoof.com, find out all the information about our great cause partners. Or come down here, take advantage of the best deals in the valley on a new Nissan. I only got 89 today, right? I thought we were at 91, so I only got 61 more cars to go to get down here.
Yeah, and Nissans are great. I have a Nissan.
So fantastic.
I love it.
Fantastic. I love it. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.